Alrighty, what I'm doing here, I kind of already started. I should have started this video before. I'm going to make a can cabinet, and a lot of the can cabinets that I've seen, or can rollers that I've seen, leave a lot of dead space because they go like this and then down to the front, and it leaves that whole triangle piece open, dead air space. So I want to build a cabinet that basically has zero dead air space in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bunch of runners, and you'll load it from the back, and the can will roll down and stop in the front like that. So you'll end up with a whole bunch of shelves all at the same angle, so you end up with no dead air space in the cabinet besides this triangle right here, and then the same piece at the top. So what I've got so far, I've got the side pieces cut out, and then I've got the side pieces cut out, and then I've got all the runners that are going to go in here cut out, and that's just out of masonite, 1/8 inch thick masonite. It won't need to be very strong. And then I've got one 3/4 inch. There's going to be 3 of these. The bottom one will be 3/4. I've got one in the middle that's going to be 3/4, and one at the top that's going to be 3/4. Okay, and so I've already cut those out. How I'm doing that is just with a 3/4 inch dado bit in the router. And then I'm putting up a guide for me that I'm clamping a guide, and then just running along there. So I'm going to cut the 3/4 inch ones first, then I'll lay out the second piece, cut the 3/4 inch ones, and then we'll change the bit out and cut the slots for the masonite. And then after that, this thing will be to the point where we can glue together. So I'll cut the 3/4 inch lines and show you what I've got there. Alrighty guys, so I've got the 3/4 inch lines done on both boards, so those are the two sides. How I was cutting those, I was just clamping this as a guide and running the router along there with the 3/4 inch bit. Now I'm going to switch the bit out and do the same thing with the rest of the lines. You can see better on this one. So I've got them laid out there, so I can go and put the 1/4 inch bit in and run these lines on all of those, and I gotta do that on both sheets, and then after that they can be glued together. These ones are gonna have glue in them. The 3/4 inch ones will be glued and screwed, and then the masonite ones, the 1/4 inch ones, will just be slid in there afterwards. They don't need to be glued or anything like that. They'll just be friction held in place. So I will cut those grooves and we'll go to that point. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. It's getting kind of dark, but I've got my 3/4 inch grooves cut and all my 1/4 inch grooves cut in one board. It's getting kind of late, so I'm going to do the other board tomorrow. Once the 3/4 inch grooves are cut in it, then I can just glue the two pieces together, and the boards will be good to go. Here's all my slats. I showed you before. I've got all the slats already cut. That's what's going to sit in there. So all these are going to have slats in them, and then the cans will roll down right here. We'll have a little stopper here when you pull the can out at the end. And just so y'all know, those are a 4-inch spacing. Let me grab a can here really quick so I can show you the spacing. So on a 4-inch space, on top of that board, you're going to have a little space right here, which will give you enough to roll over the top of this little bump right here. There'll be a little bump stop right there. It'll give the can enough clearance to roll over the top of that bump stop and come out. And so those will roll down. Each one of these, I don't know if I said this before, but each one of these is going to hold an entire flat of cans. And I, to be honest with you, don't know how many that is. See, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this is going to hold 18 flats of cans. This can organizer is. So that's going to be pretty sweet. And it's only going to be about 5 inches wide. So, cool. Alright, thanks.